Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Red Mares YouTube channel. Today I'm playing in the Rice mod. The reason for this, I want to play as Rollo, legendary Viking. You may be familiar with him from either Norse saga or the hit TV show Vikings, one of the two. The reason I want to do this is I want to go to Normandy and make a name for myself, do something a bit different and see what happens. As you can see, we've got some events already waiting, so we'll jump right in. They say I had a prophetic dream. In the dream, I heard a great and majestic voice tell me to leave Scandinavia to fulfill my destiny. One of my Christian thralls, Amadeus, interpreted the dream and concluded it was none other than God himself giving me a divine mandate. Although I'm not that old, my life has already been quite eventful. Could this be yet another twist and turn of fate? If I do have a great destiny, perhaps it all began when I was born, years ago. Well, let's say Norway. I'm not sure the actual, oh yeah, it says there the birthplace of Rollo is in question, but let's say Norway. So there is no denying that my current concern is a powerful ruler in Denmark, Jarl Sigurd. My family has come into conflict with Sigurd a number of times already as we balk at his supposed authority. I and those under me do not appreciate his attempts to enforce his power over us and across Scandinavia. My late father, after all, always told me to never bow down to pompous fools who call themselves kings. Well, as it says there, he killed my brother, and I think that's certainly personal, and that's just. So I contemplate the dream again and ask Amadeus to clarify what he meant when he said God is giving me a divine mandate. Apparently, so Amadeus claims, the dream means that one day I will achieve everlasting glory by embracing the true faith. The dream is merely God's way of guiding me towards fulfilling my destiny, and that I need to seek out glory and victory in other lands first. I don't know. Sounds alright. So we do start off with this aspiration to settle in Normandy. We get a load of prestige and special soldiers from that, and a bunch of other stuff, some renown, some piety. If we go and see the King of France, we can go and, where is it, negotiate for the March of Normandy. But to do that, we need to have a distinguished level of fame, and, well, actually, if we look at that, it's all, yeah, we've got it all. We just need to get our fame up to distinguished, so possibly a bit of raiding is due. So what I've noticed you can do here, but you can't do in the base game, is a horse sacrifice. And as we're not going to be able to be Norse for very long, we're going to be Norman Catholic. So we'll do this while we can. Is it Finder's frozen lasagna? Is that's horse sacrifices? I don't know if that's a reference anyone will get, but there we go. So we've got a load of, well, not a load of prestige, a little bit of prestige and a little bit of piety. Not that much. Yeah, it's not great. A little bit of fun, probably not worth it for the 70 odd gold, but. So we've just sieged down that capital when we raided him, and we've taken his mother and his aunt hostage. And I've got bad news for him. Rollo is after your mother. She's going to be my concubine. Okay, so we've got another event here. Occasionally I recall the dreams I had a while back, where some heavenly voice told me to find my destiny. Yet I've been beset by doubt. Am I supposed to conquer a new land? Should I adventure and settle somewhere? What did the dream mean? Last night, to my surprise, I had another dream. It was different than the previous dreams, but I think it might hold the key to understanding what this has all been about. So, yeah, let's try and remember. I recall in the dream I suffered from horrible leprosy and was at the top of a mountain in Francia, by a spring of sweet-smelling water. I washed myself in the waters and was somehow miraculously cured. The mountain was surrounded by thousands of birds of different colours, but with red left wings, fearfully fluttering to and fro around me as if they were friends. They all washed themselves in the spring as well before working together to build many nests. Most amazing of all, they obeyed whatever commands I gave them. Oh. So I would say that's pretty easy to interpret, but let's see what he makes of it. No one at my court understands the dream, but I was told a prisoner My warriors had captured on a recent raid named Katerina knows how to interpret dreams. I thus summoned her and explained the dream. According to Katharina, the spring represented the water of baptism, which would cleanse me of my sins, represented as leprosy. Afterwards, numberless warriors from across the world, represented by the red-winged birds of different species, would come together in peace to help me establish a new, glorious realm. It is clear, Katharina concludes, that God sees the nobility of my heart and seeks to guide me to my destiny in northern Francia, and specifically Normandy. I have to wonder, could this truly be my destiny? I would suggest yes, Rollo. Not to spoil everything for you, but I would say yes, that is your destiny. So I'm off raiding again, but this time someone with a bit more loot. East Anglia, specifically. I think we're going to pillage it anyway, I'm afraid. Bad news for the East Anglians. They are going to catch us here, but we should defeat them. Yeah, there we go. So with that victory there, we've got enough prestige and we're up to distinguished. Once I've finished raiding East Anglia, I'll go back, and at that point we should have enough to negotiate with Charles the Bold for Normandy. So if I revisit Charles the Bold here, we should have the opportunity to negotiate for the March of Normandy. So we'll be granted the Duchy and all the vassals, we'll become Norman, and we'll also convert to Catholicism. I'm not sure if I love it, but I think it's our way forward, put it that way. There we go, we're a mighty chieftain. Glory to God. So, the birth of Normandy. For years, the coast of northern France has been subject to our numberless attacks and raids. However, constant hostility is costly to both sides, and it could be profitable in the long run to ally with the Franks. Some of us Norse have even grown enamored with aspects of Frankish culture too. Thus, as a prominent Norse warlord, I have indicated to King Charles that I am willing to work with him if I get something in return. We have thus negotiated an agreement agreeable to both sides. Fantastic, an agreeable agreement. Everyone can be happy with that. I've been granted Normandy to rule as a fief. In exchange, I have vowed to adopt some Frankish laws and customs and to protect those territories from other Norse. While I'm not blind to the fact that King Charles is more than happy to let him deal with the problem of controlling the... Gosh, I'm getting out of breath there. You get the picture. We're doing whatever he wants. So we do have a struggle here that's going to go under the way. And we'll see how we end up with that. First, do we want to be... Oh, yeah. Well, I was going to say, do we want to be zealous? But I accidentally pressed the button. So, yes, we are now the zealous. Let's pretend that I did that on purpose and that it's all part of a master plan and not just my fat sausage fingers. And with it, what I ultimately kind of want to do is take the whole Duchy of Normandy and then get independence from France and maybe look about going and attacking England, doing a William the Conqueror 200 years early. So we'll see how that goes. But at the minute we've got a load of vassals, some of them Norse and some of them Catholics. That's a slight problem, but nothing we can't work around. Now that we're Norman, we can do a pilgrimage to Mont Saint-Michel. Flawless French, then I'm sure. Otherwise known as St. Michael's Mount, not the one in Cornwall, the one in Normandy, obviously. Duh. So here we are at St. Michael's Mount. I would definitely encourage anyone that's not familiar to go and look at pictures of it. I've not been to the one in France. I have been to the one in Cornwall, slightly less impressive, but both of them, definitely something to look at. If the Norman Tourist Board is listening, please contact me. I'm available for tepid endorsements. So as I can still go raiding, I'm going to head off to Wales and Ireland and try and make some cash. We're doing all right for money, but there are a load of different stuff we can do in this struggle that are going to take some money to do. So it's good to keep on making it. On that note, I'm going to go to my decisions, and I am going to well, I'm not going to do anything because I'm in an army. So what I'm actually going to do is leave that to someone else. And we're going to build a local Christian religious building. And obviously, because, you know, we want to show off, we're going to make a large monastery. We're going to build a large monastery. So here we go. As you can see, we've fulfilled our aspiration just by coming down to Normandy. I don't know quite what triggered that, but we've got our prestige. We've got 1,000 men for our army. We've got another 1,000 piety, and we've got 1,000 renown. So everything's looking good for Rollo. And he's no longer ill. Gosh, what a good day. So we've got a duel we can fight on the road. Thankfully, there's a 99% chance I win. So I think we're all right. So we've been waiting a little bit, but our large Christian monastery has been completed. And we get a load of good stuff out of that. We get prestige, we get piety, we get renown, and we get some stuff in the struggle to go towards acculturation, whatever that means. So yeah, all good. Oh, and even better, we're now on the council. This looks, I don't know what's going on here. That's a man apparently. I find that very hard to believe. Yeah, looks like an old woman, not a 10-year-old boy. He's had a hard life by the look of it. So what I've just done is I've increased my crown authority to limited, I think. Is it limited or low? I forget, whichever one it is. But that means those three Norse practicing counts we've got underneath us, we can just take their land off them, which is good news for us. We're pretty weak as we only control one county ourselves, so if we can bolster our forces here in Normandy, it's going to go a long way to increasing our power. So there we go, that is that war done, and as you can see, we're now in a position where, rather than just holding one small county, we now hold the majority of the duchy. Much, much better. That's what we like. So another decision available to us because we're in this struggle is we can invite some Norse settlers. I think we want to go for some traders. Or maybe, no, probably traders, yeah. As well as that, I'm going to sponsor a whale hunt, which sounds fun. Apparently we've got a 79% chance of success, success, I'm trying to say, which is, I like those odds. Apparently a random amount of gold between a 1 and 250. With any luck, that'll be somewhere over 100, so we'll get back our investment, let's call it. Good luck, lads. Go and fetch me a whale. No, 156. Not bad. 56 gold for basically nothing. So I'm going to marry my daughter off to the second son of the Byzantine emperor. With any luck, the first son will die. And because I've done it matrilineally, we might find ourselves our dynasty on the throne in the Byzantine Empire. Here's hoping. So we've got a nickname, the Strong. Seems fitting and, well, doubly fitting actually, because if we look, yes, we are strong. Accurate nicknames are always nice. So, oh, here we go. St. Albert's relics lost. For many years, Mont Saint-Michel Abbey safely housed the relics of its founder, St. Aubert of Avranches. I'm sorry, I'm probably butchering all this French, but, well, you're just going to have to get used to it, I suppose. Though the abbey is dedicated to the Archangel Michael, who originally instructed St. Aubert to found the place in... Oh, I give up. I give up. You can pause and read it if you really want, but you don't want to hear too much of me reading, I don't think. Let me know if you do actually, but you know, there we go. So I have a claim that I've just fabricated on the last county in our duchy. And I'm definitely stronger than him, even without my allies, which I'm not going to call in because I don't fancy waiting for the Byzantine Empire to turn up to Normandy. We might be here all year. It should be fairly straightforward. He does I mean, look at the man. Gosh, I regret declaring war on him now, looking at him. What a moustache that is. Well, thankfully we didn't have to siege it down because I went off to fight him and we captured him. So, there we go. Now that I do hold the whole duchy, I think I'm going to try and get myself independent. So if we look at France, they've had a bit of a meltdown. We're probably holding about a quarter of the land in Francia at the minute. They've got all these independent duchies, Lotharingia, Italy, Brittany off to their borders. Unfortunately, he still does have 3,500 men. So if we want to do this, we want to do this with our allies. Scotland are looking a bit sorry for themselves, but they still have 2,000 men. And the Byzantines, well, currently are fighting a war, but they are winning. So do we... I think we just go for it and call in our allies and hope for the best. Fingers crossed. So as you can see, we've started our independence war off, and we've got the Byzantine Emperor and the King of Scotland in. So this should be fairly straightforward, I would hope. Unfortunately, it did cost an enormous amount of prestige to call them in, about 1,000 between the two of them. But as I've got so much, still, as you can see, I've still got almost 3,000. I'm not going to worry about it too much. This should be very easy, actually. He's only got 3,000 troops. We're not too far away from matching him just on our own. So this should be fairly straightforward. You successfully beat the child. Um, something you'd only see in CK3, thankfully. So I think I'm going to take a chance, and we're going to try and engage them here. Our allies aren't turning up. We're a little bit low on troops and men-at-arms, but it reckons we'll do it. We've got a much better commander, and we've got not too dissimilar troop counts. So I'm gonna take my chance here. I've not got a great feeling about it, but we'll see. Looks like it's going our way. Yeah, here we go. You can't stand in the way of the Normans. So as you can see, while we did defeat them, it looks like he's either managed to muster some more troops or he's got some more mercenaries. So we're outnumbered yet again. I think we're in a position though financially where we can probably get some mercenaries. We've got 200 gold. We're only losing a little bit, so maybe the Bretons, some nice armored footmen. I mean, we're now definitely in a position where we can go and trounce them, I would say. So I've just been going around defeating him in battle. We're not really in a position to seize down any of his land because I don't have any, what's the word? Any siege engines? Forget what they call them. Onagers or, well, no, just onagers. So we're not really in a position to siege anything down. So we're just sort of defending our land, taking what they give us. We are up to 71%, so it's all going very well as of the minute. There we go, we've smashed his allies' army, Count Guthrie the Hairy, and we've managed to get 100% without sieging anything down, which is nice. So here we are, we've got ourselves an independent Norman Dukedom in the north of France. Lovely. One step towards what we want to be doing. And we've also got this decision available now, which I think I'm going to go for. So it's finding the lost relics of Saint Aubert. Aubert, I guess? I don't know. My French isn't ideal. I like that they've got the historical context on a lot of these decisions. It gives you a bit more insight rather than just sort of generic stuff. So now that we found the relics of Saint Aubert, we've got a little activity we can do that we couldn't before, which so apparently, yeah, we can go on a little procession. So we'll give that a go. Off to St. Michael's Mount yet again. So here we are, we're at our procession, and it says, what does it say? According to legend, the Archangel Michael instructed Aubert to establish Mont Saint Michael twice, but Aubert paid him no heed, worrying this was a deception by Satan. Seems a strange deception. On his third visit, the exasperated Archangel poked Aubert in his head, convincing him to fulfill his destiny. Even today, we can all see the hole in Aubert's skull as it is brought around town. So that's some poke. Are we going to witness a miracle? I'm skeptical. If there's a 25% chance of a miracle, is it still a miracle? Never mind. Well, that was fun. Something a bit different. So we've got another decision that's that we're able to take now. One relevant to whatever you call it, the Normandy sort of struggle. So we can commission the Historia Normanorum. No points for guessing what Historia Normanorum means. Our efforts to consolidate Normandy have not necessarily gone smoothly, and well, I would disagree with that. I think it's been all right. To help us unite as Normans, I'll find a scholar to write a history of our people. Won't be a very long history. And how under the leadership of the de Normandy family, we combine the best aspects of the Norse and Frankish people. Blah, blah, blah. What do we get? Lots of stuff, basically. Let's see what happens. So who do we want to write this? I'm going to do it off looks alone. Which of these men looks like a great historian? Well, not him. He looks far too butch and masculine. Not to throw aspersions at historians, but they're not exactly. You wouldn't associate them with being massively alpha. I'm definitely rambling, but just to excuse myself, I have been up since 4:44 in the morning, so I'm starting to lose cognitive ability, let's say. What I'm getting to is this guy. He looks like a historian to me. Not to insult historians, but I'm sure I am. There we go. So as you can see, my daughter is 16 years old, and she turned 16 on the 20th of October, so 6 months ago or so. So she got married to the King of Scotland 6 months ago. Then he died gout-ridden at age 45. I'm pretty, yeah, pretty upset about that. There goes my Scottish alliance. If we quickly recall her, let's see if she can find herself something to do. As in, da, 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 find a new husband. Yes, I think we go for the second son of the King of Wessex. He will accept a matrilineal alliance. So here we are. Are we going to be able to murder the heir to the throne of Wessex and get our son-in-law in line for the kingdom? 77% chance? Oh dear. It never seems to be the percentage you want it to be, but who knows? What does it say now? Well, it's still at the same, so we should be alright. We'll try again in 10 months' time. So we tried again to murder him, and it's failed again. So that's 2 lots of 77% chance. I'm not sure. Someone who's better at me than maths can tell me how improbable that is, but it seems pretty improbable. Never mind. So he hasn't died. This has literally just happened after I tried to murder him. His father has died, and he has inherited Wessex, but the boy that is matrilineally, that's a mouthful, engaged to my daughter is the ruler of Whissa here. So if we can keep him alive and keep him ticking along until he has children, we'll get our grandchildren holding on to the entirety of Wessex, potentially. So what we're waiting for is Whissa to attack his brother for his claims, and hopefully we'll be able to help him take it all back. So we've got a granddaughter. Sadly, it's not from the ones I want, really. It's from my son. So he's got some traits, so does his wife. But obviously, as you well know, his granddaughter doesn't. Typical. So here we go. Looks like we've completed the Historia Normanorum. So years ago, Anselm began writing a history of Normandy under the patronage of my good self. I hoped that this work would encourage the Norman people to unite under one identity under my family's rule, the Historia Normanorum, chronicling the Duchy's history from the arrival of Duke me until now, has finally been completed. The history has been presented to me, the original sponsor of the project. Anselm passed away while writing the history. Oh dear. Poor guy. When did he die? Did it tell me he died? I don't know. Well, it says here he died 2 years ago and I didn't notice. Dear me. Never mind. Poor guy. Anyway, so he's dead. His contributions are undeniable, apparently. So, well done to him. So what do we actually get from this? So we get diplomacy, a level of fame, which is nice. Love a bit of prestige. And yeah, it's good. So my current sort of aim at the minute is I've given up on wars and sort of Normandy. I've sort of got distracted by Wessex. What I want to do is get my grandchildren on the seat of Wessex eventually. We've got one small problem with that, however. If we look at my daughter, yes, she's in prison because she's been fornicating, which is not good. She's also got consumption, which is bad. But she's had a child out of wedlock, very bad, with one of my vassals. So he's going to be. Well, apparently that's still tyranny. Oh, never mind. Well, he's fine, but she's in prison. That doesn't seem very fair, does it? As I'm such a loving father, I think I'm just going to release her though. No, we don't want her to take the vows. We just release her. So my daughter can actually marry Petty King Ulfsulf of Huissa. Now we desperately, desperately, desperately want them to have a child. Basically, they need to get on with it. So I didn't know you could do this, but my son has decided he's going to run off with some woman called Effa. Despite the dodgy moustache, he is my son, and I'm going to let's call it some tough love. We're going to duel our own son. So it seems in very poor taste, but I like our chances. Maggot, yes, my son, the maggot. I'm sure that's going to make family Christmases very awkward. There we go. We've beaten our son. He yields, and he's also wounded. Hopefully, we haven't permanently hurt him. With any luck, yeah. That's reason to call a child protective services right there. Beating your son in a duel. So while I've been messing around in Wessex, I didn't notice that our daughter is now married to the Basilius, and I believe I did that matrilineally as well. I believe I can't quite remember. I have to say, but I think I did. So if they have a child as well, we could quite quickly have our family on the throne of the Byzantine and of Wessex. Things are going quite well at the minute, I have to say. So our son-in-law has called us in on for a holy war on the earldom of Essex. Bit small potatoes, unfortunately, but we are definitely going to join because good news. His wife, my daughter, is no, she's not pregnant. Forget that. She's had a son, a grandson. He is hunchbacked, concerningly. But so the heir to Huissa is now a hunchback. Well, he's my grandson, more importantly, and he's of my house. So we're getting closer to getting our line on the throne there. So we are. So very bad news, I'm afraid. Our daughter did not manage to have a son. So instead of when the Byzantine emperor died, it went to our grandson. It went to this guy. So I was just thinking, I feel like while I'm waiting for all this stuff to develop in Wessex, what I want to do is conquer Brittany to extend my Norman kingdom into a sort of greater Normandy. Unfortunately, I don't think it's massively interesting to just declare war on him, so I think I will go to swear fealty. So, because I'm basically dumb as rocks, I didn't realise that to claim someone's title, as you can see here, you do need 51% of the de jure land in the thing. So basically what I've done is I've just sworn fealty to him for literally no reason. So I guess that what we do now is start independence war. So sorry, not sorry. I'm off again. So, as unlikely as it was, with a 5% chance of killing him, we've actually managed it. Everyone knows I'm a murderer, but to be frank, I don't give a damn. Because now Wessex is reconstituted. That's not the right word. Wessex has reassembled itself. That will do. With our son-in-law at its helm, and who is his grandson? No, who's my grandson? My grandson basically is heir, is what I'm trying to say. So, we're going to try and murder my son-in-law. And if we can end the video with me being a free independent duke in Normandy, having established a new Norse Frankish kingdom there, through basically doing decisions and dicking about. And we have our grandson, in England as the King of Wessex. I think that's a sort of fun, random, sort of bastardized version of William the Conqueror that I can sort of have fun with. Not entirely what I meant to do when I set off, but I think that's why CK3 is fun sometimes. You get sort of distracted and you end up doing things you didn't want to do, and yeah, it's got that sandbox sort of feel to it, I guess. So there we go. That is a holy war for the Earldom of Essex, which I keep wanting to say son, but our son-in-law has won. So if our murder plot against him looks like it might go well, we'll just quickly invite a couple of people along if they want to join. Oh, sorry, wrong button. Here we go. Quick 58 coins to you. How much does someone else want? No, no one else is interested. Well, that might be enough to do it. Right, we've got two things going on at the same time here. We've got Petty King Ozolf is about to die, fingers crossed. Come on. We want a grandson in Wessex. Come on, here we go. There we go, he's dead. Right, it's not quite what I wanted to happen, but look at this. Well, we'll quickly get independence as well. That was the other main thing. So, instead of a Norman conquest of England through William the Conqueror, we've conquered, in inverted commas, southwest of England, not and southeast, not including Cornwall and Devon. Here we are, grandson, Duke of Windsor, grandson, Duke of Wessex, grandson, Duke of Kent, and then what's Sussex? Who's that? Oh, it's the Duke of Essex as well, our other grandson. So we've got four grandsons, four dukes in south of England. It's like yeah, it's like the Tetrarchy on steroids in just the south of England. So if you did enjoy the video at all, please let me know. Drop a like if you want to, obviously. Comments, let me know whatever, good, bad, ugly, anything, any opinions. And subscribe if you're interested in potentially seeing some more in the future. So it was a pleasure speaking to you again. And I imagine I will see you sometime in the near future. Goodbye.